There are some insane LEGO Star Wars rumors for 2022. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at the most outlandish, the most crazy rumors that we have seen all year, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on their legitimacy, as well as, if they're actually happening or not. And again, this video is entirely me being skeptical. That's why I put these all into this particular video. So everything you hear in this video, you could take with a micro grain of salt. But either way, with that said, I'm going to ask you to hit that subscribe button, especially if any of these turn out to be true. But with that said, we're going to get into one of the ones I'm more skeptical about, moving into one of the ones I'm less skeptical about, and a little more optimistic about too, with some data and science behind them. So we're going to get all into that right now. So starting off right away, I've heard plenty of rumors, and this is from two people that are not too reliable. They've gotten one or two things right, but nothing crazy. And this is in regards to a Phase 2 Commander Cody Polybag. Now, there have been people throwing around that the Polybag is going to be a Commander Cody for the May the 4th promotion. Now, for those who don't know, May the 4th is a thing where, every Star Wars Day, they bring out a new promotion alongside a LEGO UCS set. Usually, this year is going to be the Land Speeder. And usually it coincides, but not always. And this one is, supposed to be a Commander Cody one, according to this rumor. Now, I am extraordinarily skeptical of this, not only because they did not provide any legitimacy of anything towards it, whether it be a set number or a leaked piece. We have no confirmation and no data supporting that it would be a Phase 2 Cody minifigure. So right off the bat, I'm going to write this one off for now, but I did want to throw it out there as something that I have heard and has been out there. I don't want to be hiding anything from you guys. So that's something I've heard. I'm not too optimistic in it. Now, the next thing that I have seen, I saw this, and I actually referred to a few of my buddies and asked them what they think, and we'll get into that in a second. So here it is, either way. This is a Captain Hauser torso piece. It looks like something that LEGO would officially release. Captain Hauser is a character, obviously, from Star Wars The Bad Batch, and the only current Bad Batch that we technically have rumored is the Cad Bane's Justifier. So this would almost certainly have to be a figure that would appear in that set. Now, I wouldn't be too surprised if Hauser actually showed up. I'd love Hauser to show up in this particular set. The reason I would have actually believed this a little more, if not for the fact that we recently did get a look at some new clone troopers with straps, and I believe Captain Hauser did have a little cloth on his side. So he would look very similar, actually, to, say, the Phase 2 Captain Rex minifigure. So I feel like they wouldn't have a cloth, and this just doesn't feel like something they would do. I've had a few decal buddies look at it. They're kind of 50-50. This is what a accurate 2020 style clone trooper would look like, hypothetically. But I feel like the helmet would have leaked before the torso, to be 100% honest. So I'm going to have to put this one with like a 3 out of 10% chance of it being real. Now, another guy recently on the scene of the rumor community has shocked the community. We have had a look at the Force Ghost piece. We have had a look at a Land Speeder piece. And let's just get into this one. Now, this was one I originally discredited, and we are going to find out in very short order if this is legitimate. Namely with the reveal of the Luke's Land Speeder, if that windshield piece turns out to be legit, that we actually covered in another news video. Either way, one of LEGO Ohio's first leaks was this. For set 75333, the Jedi Starfighter Set. Now, in it, we have a look at R4, Obi-Wan, and that center guy. That, I believe, is Taun We, the Kaminoan, that is obviously iconic from Attack of the Clones, and also The Bad Batch, and she was also in the Clone Wars, I believe. Maybe, I don't know. Either way, he is proposing that this is a leak. Now, remember, this is the same exact man who revealed that Force Ghost piece that people went nuts over. So, there's a solid shot that this is actually legit. And again, if we find out that Land Speeder is the legit piece, then there's, again, a very, very solid shot that this turns up to be real. Now, here is the reason I am skeptical. A, they have never done a mini doll in LEGO Star Wars. So that is something to strongly consider, although I do think it's a creative solution. And I'll discuss the actual thing in a second. But beyond that, it is also really early for this type of a thing to be showing up in leaks. August sets don't go into production still, as far as I'm aware with the LEGO production design. So this would have to be from a very early design phase, or some of the designers. It can't just sneak out of a factory, because I don't believe they're in production even. But either way, looking at this figure, it is completely exclusively molded. That head as far as I'm aware, it's an exclusive mold. You can see the bags around the eyes and the mouth. That's something we've never seen before, and, you know, it's just such a creative print, pointing towards the legitimacy of this being a very real thing. So I am actually extraordinarily optimistic that this does turn out to be the real minifigure. I would not be shocked one bit, and quite frankly, that's very exciting that we're getting that this early. It helps lend credence to a lot of other things we've seen because we know that they are out there. Now, another one that we've seen from LEGO Ohio, the exact same guy who just revealed that, there is a rumor for a Boba's Rancor versus Scorpionec droid. Now, he's saying it's a big fig, very similar to the Killer Croc, so it's not going to be the old Rancor, but, you know, the Killer Croc and the old Rancor aren't too different, so it's going to be a little different from the old one, maybe not the exact one. And this is rumored to fill the $70 slot we have in the LEGO Star Wars line this year. Now that's set to, I believe, come out in September. It's been under very high security in terms of that set. So this one, I wouldn't be shocked at all. It's got to come with Boba. Probably going to come with Mando. Those are just easy figures for them to pump out. And also, we could totally see Chrysanthemum in this set. Like, this is the prime set to put Chrysanthemum in, as well as Cobb Vanth or any other characters you really want to see from Book of Boba. I think this is great. Hopefully, they don't put the most Espa Vespa gang in this one. But either way, it's kind of exciting. I'm actually really excited to see this particular set. It's going to be our first official, technically, Book of Boba Fett-centered set that we've gotten that's not from The Mandalorian in any way, shape, or form. So that's going to be really nice to see. Now, here's one that's interesting. So, obviously, you guys know the Republic fighter tank rumor was confirmed. Now, the guy who revealed it put a thing on his Instagram story, and I struggled to find pictures of it, but it is there, and I actually messaged him about it. And this is something that, you know, again, take this with the tiniest grain of salt. Someone asked this man about the $530 LEGO Star Wars set. And I asked him, you know, what does I hear about Geonosis? And he said basically it's too early to confirm something at the moment. So basically, he's heard that it's going to be Geonosis. Now, he does not even feel confident enough himself to post this. He does not feel it is legitimate enough because it is way too early on to tell. Now, 2 times he's actually had this type of a situation happen where he's gotten intel like really early and no one believed him. In fact, super early. So I want to dissect that a little bit. First off, he rumored a LEGO Jabba's Palace coming in winter 2022. That was September 16th, before anyone else had bought onto that. And obviously, that was something completely new. This was way before the Book of Boba show had even come out. So this was a completely new thing. So he was very early on the ball in regards to that. Another thing he was early on the ball on, the Republic fighter tank. He put that out September 24th. The entire rumor community completely discredited him, thought he was completely insane, had no faith in his rumor whatsoever. And that actually ended up turning out to be true. We now have leaked images of it. Now, moving forward, he also, I believe, and you cannot confirm this, but I believe he was one of the first ones to put up the rumor for the 2-pack of Brickheadz for Obi-Wan versus Vader. Now, these were actually recently, you know, confirmed to be a thing that's happening probably come this May 4th. Soon it's going to be Obi-Wan with Episode 3 cloak, Darth Vader with the big-looking one. So that is another thing. So that's 3 examples of early rumors he had. Now, again, he is really skeptical of what this $530 set is going to be. But he tends to think that it is going to be Geonosis. So that, if true, is absolutely exciting. And I haven't seen anyone even talk about this just because he's not even confident in himself. But I'm very confident in him, so we have to wait and see, and again, take this as a grain of salt. I personally think it's a Death Star. I think this $530 set's going to be a Death Star. I kind of hope it's a Death Star, quite honestly. But this is what his rumor he is hearing, which would be absolutely insane, a $530 arena. I don't even know how they do that. By the way, yes, my tongue is very red. And yeah, I know it sounds outlandish, but I wanted to throw all that information out there for you to consume, to just, what do you think is likely, what do you think is not? Again, I said this at the beginning, I'll say it now, everything with the tiniest grain of salt. Do not take any of this seriously. I don't personally believe most of these myself, especially the ones I mentioned more early on. So with that said, remember to hit that subscribe button, watch any of these videos if you like the channel, and again, we are so close to 35,000 subs already, which is bananas, so hit that subscribe button. I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to peace out and stay awesome. Oh, baby, a triple.